Hello everybody, Ministrom here. Welcome back to Satisfactory. In the last episode, we started off with a little bit of a power issue. I think that's resolved because it was a water supply issue. And what in the world are you doing? Whatever. And then we came back over here where the eventual steel mill is going to be, and we got our miners in place. And we started to figure out where our rail line is going to be and all that sort of stuff. And how we're going to bring the local iron into the mill. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. And so we're going to keep working on it. I did fill in some more foundations just because I was here. I did also go back and pick up some more materials. So we are good to go there. Reorganized where the power lines are going to go down to where the mines are, that sort of stuff. So, nothing too significant. So, what we're going to do now is we are going to get these mines running. And so the first thing we need to do is we need to put the conveyor lift Mark IV outputs. And then we're going to use industrial storages. A single industrial storage? No, we're going to do two. Two industrial storage. We're going to have a conveyor belt Mark IV. Running in there. And this is all iron, so iron gets colored like that. Alright, now we need to figure out the routing of the belts. So, we're going to have a conveyor merger. Now this will be Mark III belts coming out of the the mines. And then Mark IV belts okay. Mark IV belt. Oh, I still can't quite make it. Maybe be a curvy belt? No, we're gonna make it a default belt. And then maybe curvy from that point. Yep, that'll work. All right, I think we're gonna put the merger over here. And then mark 4 to this point. All right, I'm gonna fill those boxes. Oh, of course, I put those boxes right where I moved the ladder. Okay. Then we'll move the ladder. There. Oh, right. We should have a second hard drive scanning the MAM. Alternate iron plates. Alternate adhered iron plate. This is for a reinforced iron plate that uses iron and rubber. Oh no. Charcoal. This allows us to convert wood into coal. No. Neither of these I'm interested in. Alright, scan it. Alternate pure caterium ingot. So we use ore and water to make ingots. Okay. Copper rotor. So we can take copper sheets and screws to make rotors instead of rods. I'm going to pass on this one. We'll take the pure caterium. Would like some better options, but, you know, it's what we got. Okay. There's plenty more hard drives out there for us to find and scan, so no big deal. All right. So now that we're bringing the iron in and we're filling up some boxes, let's figure out how this train is going to work. So we're gonna need a train station. gonna have to move that railway then. Alright, so the railway... is going to be something along these lines. We're going to need to rotate this around because we want this going the other way. There we are. I'm sure that's going to be the right spot, but... it's going to need power. The name of the train station is going to be Steel Mill. Unloading. Alright, it has no power. Alright, so it's going to need power. Interesting. Alright. Fair enough. Alright, then we need freight platforms. And the freight platforms are going to load and unload from that side. 1, 2. Do we need this many of them? I'm assuming we need one per car. I'm not 100% on that. Well, that means we have all of these outputs. Creates empty space where necessary. I see. We don't have any rubber to make a locomotive. Really? I could go grab some. We'll have to... 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. I'm going to assume this is what we need to do.
for now. Now, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to go find a coal source somewhere, and then set up a loading station there, and then set up a train loop between the two, and that'll serve as the kind of beginning of our rail system. Alright, now what we're going to need is a way to get outputs from here to the other side of these tracks. I wonder if I could cascade them. The outputs of one run into the inputs of another. Though these are configured as unloading, so they probably wouldn't even take an input. Well, what would really happen is we would just chain these all with mergers and stick them in a box somewhere. So... well, we would actually need like a complex system. Because I would want these to be able to unload both iron and coal. So, let's just figure it out. Alright. We're going to want to do a smart splitter. First and foremost. So this is the output. We're going to do a smart splitter there. Smart splitter there. Smart splitter there. And one there. Okay. We'll just run this whole thing as fast as we possibly can. I'm running out of encased industrial beams. Not something I can't go get more of. Alright, so... I think what we're gonna do is this. We're gonna have conveyor mergers here, 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 and there. Oh yeah, I'm gonna run out of these fast. Well, then we'll just switch to a lower tier of belt. Alright, and so this is going to be... hold on. This is going to be the iron. Alright, so... center output is going to be... iron ore. Oh, we're not done yet, actually. We're not quite done yet. Because then what we'll not then need is we'll need another set of mergers. Like that. Okay. And these... oh, I made these the wrong color, didn't I? Yeah. These are the iron. So they need to be this color. The gray instead of the black. Right, because then... these become black for the coal. Yeah, we're gonna have to make these Mark 3s. For now, we're gonna upgrade to the Mark 4s. Just have to go get some more beams. All right, and then what we'll do is we'll conveyor lift. Something like this. Can that? No, because they get too tall. What if we did it more like this? It's strange, but it ought to work. Did I mess it up? It really doesn't matter what type of belt I actually use here. Yep, I didn't get it far enough back. Alright. More like there. And probably did the same here, right? Nope, I got that one right. Okay. So then what we do is we say the center output is iron ore. The right output will be coal. Yeah, that's fine. Coal is really the first thing we're going to bring in here. So and then we just copy all the settings. Wait a minute. 1, 2, it's 5. 5 cars. Okay. Yeah, you can't actually run against that belt. All right. So I think that will work. So actually, what we probably want what actually is the ore to it's 1-to-1. So we'll need to feed this as much iron ore as much coal as we do iron ore. So we actually need to split this into 2. So do we get rid of the 5th one? I think we might actually get rid of the 5th one. So we'll have it be 1 locomotive and 4 wagons. I don't know if that is a appropriate layout, but it's what we're gonna do. So we actually want to split these. Right, right. No, I don't want it to do that. What I want it to do is something along these. No, no. Something along those lines. And then we do a stackable conveyor. We'll do one kind of there. We'll do one kind of there. Right. And then we'll prep this with boxes. So we'll have outputs. I'll need to give it a little bit of room. Right, so those will be iron ore. So the iron ore is the lower. Okay. Do is we will have industrial storage boxes with inputs. That will need to be something along the lines of being around here. One of these will run into there. And the other one runs into there. Now I just need to go get some more encased industrial beams to get everybody upgraded to Mark IV belts. Alright. What'll happen here is that we'll probably do merging between these two and then send them out. Or no, we'll only be using, I think, these first. These will come along later when we're ready to expand this thing, and then we'll have to figure out what we're going to do about the coal as well. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But I think we're at the end of this episode here. So I think what we actually need to do next is we need to find some coal. Figure out where the coal is going to come from, and then we're going to have to figure out getting that all set up, a station there, and then running a track. And figure out how that's going to work. Alright, but for now, we'll stop here. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.